What's up, ladies and germs of the YouTubes? My name is King Yami, and we're here to do a very special video. More of a three-part video per se, if you want to go with that, because I'm going to do 3 videos today, specifically going around Halloween, aka my birthday, you know. You gotta represent the birthday, you know what I mean? So, let's just start off with a pretty fun video idea I think I had, and it is the brawl of a bunch of horror icons. You might know them, you might not. Hey, I mean, I barely know them myself, but hey, here's what it is. But I did want to do this because it was always a video I always wanted to do, especially last year when I had like a bunch of ideas like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then nothing happened. So so let's start this video of who I think would win in a brawl between these horror icons. Now, let's get one thing straight out of the way. There's one person you're gonna see on this list, well, not on this list, and it is your boy Hellraiser. Now, I know, I hear everybody already saying, wait, whoa, you can't do horror icons without Pinhead and all this other stuff in his group and his entourage and whatever. Hear me out. Pinhead is OP. Like, he literally, any brawl he's in with these icons, he auto wins. Like, he has a auto win button, literally. And then another thing is that with this what if scenario, which is completely opinionated, like literally, this is my opinion of what would happen, but with what's going to happen in this video, I would like to point out that a lot of the things that I'm pointing out in the video are super like semantics, right? Really, like they're very conditional things that would happen. And with him, it would be a whole nother big conditional thing in itself for bringing him into the fight in the first place. Because honestly, these horror icons meeting outside of their worlds is one thing, but the fact of how they get out into the world in the first place is a whole thing altogether. And I feel like I have to implement that in order to make it a fair fight in every retrospect and aspect or whatever. So that's why Pinhead is not going to be in this fight. Now, I do have somebody lined up for him that I think would be a much better fight for Pinhead. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but I would say if you really want to know who it is, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. It's going to be coming up probably next week, if not the week after. Well, I'm definitely going to try to get it next week. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a really good fight. And I don't know who's going to win that one yet. I got to do some research on it, but I do think that you all are going to love who I have in store. Now, to add another disclaimer, this is going to be quite a long video because I have to explain everything that's happening in this one. Unfortunately, I don't have the animations of the gods of Screw Attack or anything like that. Wish I did. And if anyone out there is willing to actually do the animation for me, by all means, let me know. I will try to get you paid something or whatever, but I'm gonna have to just explain what would happen throughout this entire thing and why I think X person would win. Now, in order to tell you who X person is, I gotta tell you who's all in this roster per se. So I'm gonna post them up right here. As you can see, we have Ghostface, Candyman, the Creeper, Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers. These are going to be our combatants for the brawl. Now, there are some ones that people might be asking, like, where's Pennywise? Where's Chucky? Where's Angela? The reason for that is because, well, Chucky is a doll. I don't think he can do anything to these people. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I forgot Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's in this too. But yeah, I don't see him doing anything to Pumpkinhead or anybody else in this matter. And if you think he can do something, by all means, put it in the comments. I'd love to read it. Like, I'd love to hear everybody's opinions on it. But I don't think somebody like Chucky or Angela or Pennywise could really do anything to the roster here. Now, Pennywise and Freddy could probably be a very interesting thing going on, but I want to get to that in another video. So we will get to that later down the line. But until then, let's go ahead and start this brawl of ours. And to put things in perspective, with Ghostface, I'm going to have it to where it's like in the movies. So there's always two people with Ghostface. And I'm going to have it set up to it's surrounding them in the beginning. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so we start our setting at Ghostface and his partner, we're going to call him Ghostface A and Ghostface B, taking a couple of, quote, friends to Crystal Lake, where they're going to off them and probably throw them in the lake. And before doing so, the two Ghostface killers ask their friends, hey, would you like to do a little fun thing with the curse that we heard about, which is the Candyman curse? And they end up making their friends actually do the curse within a mirror at one of the bathrooms there. But as we know, the curse brings out the Candyman and he actually kills one of the friends. While this is happening, Jason is coming from the lake to do a little killing himself, and Leatherface is on the run from the police officers, so he ends up in Crystal Lake as well. Now, as they finally meet with the other friend being like, oh my gosh, this guy is killing everyone, and then he dies due to Leatherface chopping him in half with a chainsaw. Ghostface A and Ghostface B are like, well, what the hell is going on? As they're going to be surrounded by Leatherface, Jason, and Candyman. Now, as they look around, Ghostface B is thinking, hey, I could probably take on Jason because he's the only one with like a hockey mask thing or whatever, and he sees that Candyman is surrounded with bees or something. So he's going to try to make a break for it against Jason, where he's going to attack Jason with a knife. Jason's probably going to grab it, punch his head off, and then Ghostface A is going to be like, holy crap, and he's going to run away. Now, with this happening, Leatherface, being the one more kind of running and whatnot, will probably chase after Ghostface A. And then, while this is happening, Jason and Candyman will probably be duking it out during this time, because Candyman's like, well, while that's happening, I got nothing else to do, and Jason's going to be like, I'm just going to kill whatever's in front of me. And also during this time, like probably halfway through their little fighting, you're probably going to have like a special guest appearance from Michael Myers, and then they're going to be having like a three-way brawl in that aspect. Now, while Ghostface is running away, he's going to be attacked by the Creeper with the, from above with his wings. And he's going to be injured. Now, here's where things get interesting, because now we're starting to get to some real killing thing going on, because I think that Leatherface is probably going to be attacking the Creeper, and like leaving Ghostface alone while he goes to escape. Now, as we know, the Creeper, he doesn't really get hurt by like bullets or anything like that. He's really more of a brawler as well. He has like an axe and like this kind of thing, like the glider you see in Blade and stuff. And he's pretty versatile with weapons. That being said, I do think that Leatherface's chainsaw could possibly do some pretty good damage on the Creeper. Not enough to kill him, but enough to get him injured to the point where, like I said before, Ghostface is going to be off and about somewhere else and he'll be fine. And the Creeper will just have no choice but to kind of like maybe go back to fight the other guys, like Candyman and them, to maybe get some more stuff, because the other body's there. The Ghostface B's there. So he's probably going to try to get that body to heal himself back up like he does in the movies. But yeah, between those two, I think that the Creeper takes it, not by a lot, but like he does take it pretty convincingly. He chops his head off, and Leatherface is out of the question. Now, we go back to the triangle fight before the Creeper goes out, and I think that at this point, I want to say that Jason will be kind of overwhelmed a bit, because the Candyman, he's pretty smart. He's been living throughout the years, so he's probably going to outmaneuver him through a lot of stuff. Plus the fact that he can basically be invisible to the point of the human eye and whatnot. And with Michael Myers, he's more human than anything, so he kind of does have a brain in that aspect. That being said, he also has kind of an ego going with him, and he is really human. So unlike Jason, who's just a massive killing machine, he's just gonna kill, kill, kill. With Michael Myers, I think he's gonna be more thought-provoking and whatnot, and I think that's gonna hurt him in the end. And I do feel like he's going to get, like, I won't say like just murdered, but I think like a lucky swing from Jason will get him out of there, like kind of knock him out a bit, and then like maybe the creeper will go and try to finish him off that way as he gets there. And then what will happen after that is they're probably both, Candyman and the creeper, because after that Michael Myers is going to be out of there, I think. And the creeper and the Candyman are probably going to be kind of tag teaming Jason. And here's where I think the Pumpkinhead thing will come into play. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Hear me out, and let me know if you think otherwise in the comments down below. But I do believe that because of what Pumpkinhead stands for, which is basically helping those who have been bullied and stuff like that, he would come actually to help Jason in this aspect. He would like come up, resurrected or whatever, and come to help Jason because of Jason's backstory. Like, we know that he was ugly as hell, like literally super ugly, and he was bullied by the kids and all that stuff. And I feel like some kind of sentiment would go into Pumpkinhead's head to make him be attached with Jason. Now, will they actually work together? Probably not, because I mean, let's be honest, Jason is a zombie. He's not very smart, and even if he saw that like Pumpkinhead was helping him, I don't think he would fully register in his head. That being said, let me know if you think differently down in the comments below. But I do think with that happening, Jason and Pumpkinhead are going to be able to push the Creeper and Candyman back. Now, here's where things get very tricky, because during this time, like I've told you, Ghostface A has been gone. He's been injured. He's probably going to fall asleep and try to get some rest while he can. And this is where Freddy comes in. Freddy's going to do what Freddy did in Freddy vs. Jason, I believe, and take control of Ghostface A. And because he wants that vengeance against Jason. And what's going to happen is he's going to have to think of a way to take out Jason, because, I mean, obviously he knows he can't just beat him in a straight up brawl. So, as he's figuring this out, Jason and Pumpkinhead are just, they're pushing Candyman and the Jeepers Creepers Creeper back. And as we know, the Creeper only has so long before he has to go back into hibernation, and I don't think he'll last throughout the entire fight. Now, I don't know if he's gonna die. I mean, honestly, we don't really truly know what the Creeper's real weakness is. I mean, they hinted something in the Jeepers Creepers 3, but they didn't really say like, oh, this is his weakness, this is how we beat him or whatever. But I do think he won't last throughout the entire fight. I think he'll have to leave. He'll have to go get some rest for another 27 years, and that'll be it for the Creeper. And then the Candyman, he's going to be thinking, okay, how do I beat these guys? So he's going to probably fall back, think of a strategy, and while this is happening, Freddy has thought of a strategy to get to Jason. So what he's going to do is basically what happened, I believe, in Friday the 13th Part 6, where he's going to get Jason to come back out in the lake and pull a Tommy Jarvis, which is basically pulling a chain around Jason's neck with the Ghostface A's body while being out in a boat or something. Because and before anybody's saying, well, how did he even do this? How could he have thought of that? I'm using the lore from Freddy versus Jason. So with that, he finds that water is kind of his weakness. Not really water, but basically the fear of like being ridiculed and all this stuff and whatnot. And it adds with the water. So I'm thinking with that kind of headcanon in his head, that he will probably do what Tommy Jarvis did and basically just try to drown Jason. And I do think he'll be able to do it because, I mean, Freddy's smart. He's not Candyman smart, but he's definitely smarter than the average slasher. And I think he'll be able to do it using Jarvis's strategy, because it's not like Jason's going to be like, oh, I've seen this before. It's like, no, Jason's a zombie. He's not that smart. He's just brute force. Now, I do think that during the process, the Ghostface A body will die. He will get probably chopped in half and whatnot. But I do think that he'll be able to get the chain on Jason and have Jason drown. Quote, drown, not die, but drown. And Jason will be out of the equation for that point. And then we go back to Pumpkinhead, which I was talking about earlier, with Pumpkinhead being attached to Jason because of his backstory. If you know about that, you know that when the person that they're attached, that Pumpkinhead's attached to, is getting hurt, so like Jason getting hurt in this aspect, it affects the Pumpkinhead. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is Pumpkinhead's going to get a lot weaker because Jason is getting weaker. He's going to sleep, basically. And with that, Candyman's going to see his opportunity, and he's going to do whatever he can to beat Pumpkinhead. And I do think with the weakness aspect there, Candyman will take it through kind of bees swarming, stinking, all that other stuff, and Pumpkinhead's done. Which leads it to kind of a tie between Freddy and the Candyman. Although, in all honesty, Candyman probably wins this because, like, he's the one really still left standing, per se. Like, you could say, like, oh, but Freddy could just take him to the dream world. Well, Candyman really doesn't sleep. And even then, unless Freddy can figure out that the guy's fear, which really isn't really a fear because it gives him the rage he needs to stay alive and be immortal and stuff. But unless he can figure out that, like, slavery thing was his big thing, I don't think that Candyman would be beaten by Freddy if he's in the dream world. But, and like I said before, with the fear of that actually getting him more powered up with his vengeance and whatnot, I think Candyman actually etches out Freddy even if he's in the dream world. And also, I do believe, like, Candyman could bring him in to the real world, a la Freddy vs. Jason, just the same way that all the regular people did. So in that aspect, I do believe in this fight, Candyman wins. Now, you might be saying to yourself, man, this is full of semantics. This is full of, like, all bullshit. And if it wasn't for fucking Ghostface even being there, it wouldn't have been that way. And I'll actually do kind of a what if scenario. What if Ghostface wasn't there? So let's say Ghostface is not there. This does change the dynamic of how the fight goes, because I don't think that the Creeper would be there either. So honestly, all we would have is Leatherface, Michael Myers, Jason, and Candyman with Pumpkinhead. And I think that the battle would be, because the only real weakness Candyman truly has is the fact that his soul is within the mirror that he came out of. So maybe by chance, with Jason and Pumpkinhead doing a lot of damage around the area and stuff like that, they hit the bathroom where his so-called mirror he came out of goes. If that happens, then yes, the winner will probably be, I'm gonna say, Jason, for the fact of with Pumpkinhead being attached to Jason. I don't think he's going to really fight Jason back, but Jason, being the killer person that he is, will probably fight Pumpkinhead. And with that, he'll probably win in that aspect. And with Michael Myers, I know people are just like, oh, he's immortal, he always comes back. Which is true. In every movie, he's always come back. But technically, in every movie, he's always been knocked out and dies as well, as far as that movie goes. And it's not till they kind of retcon it where he comes back. So I don't think that there will be the whole he's immortal thing in that aspect. And to be honest, I think that in this brawl, he's kind of the weakest out of everyone. Because, I mean, with Jason, he throws people left and right like it's nothing. And while Michael Myers does have super strength, he's also, like I said, human. So I would think with these aspects, he's not going to win. And with Leatherface, he's also human. And honestly, with Jason's repertoire of using spears and all this stuff, I mean, any good move against him would probably be like done for Leatherface. Now that being said, if he doesn't use any of his ranged weapons and Leatherface gets close enough to him, I think he can do some pretty good damage to him, being the fact that he was blown up to bits in part 9. That being said, he was blown to bits in part 9. He wasn't like cut in the half or something like that. So for all I know, Jason could do like a Chuck Norris bullshit thing. He could stop it with his hands and then like chop his head off. So, but then again, I would have to think of Freddy versus Jason, where he got a good swipe at his fingers and they got cut off. So to each his own, but I don't think that Leatherface is going to make it through. Also because of the fact that the Creeper is here, and the Creeper is very agile. That being said, the Creeper will probably have to fight against 2 different entities, if not 3, because of how the fight would probably go. And I don't think he'll last, because all of the Pumpkinhead, Jason, and Candyman, they're basically immortal for the most part. And I don't think, because of his timer, that he'll last immortality. Like, I think he'll be gone off, say, I gotta go sleep, and be sleep for another 27 years. Now, does that mean he takes an L? Technically yes, technically no, because he didn't die, like some of the others I was talking about. But I do think that if that somehow happened, I'm not throwing it out of the window, but if that somehow happened, then Jason is the winner. But because of how, like, it's so, it really has to be that way, basically, for lack of a better word. And because of that, I'm just going to have to give it to Candyman on this one. So overall, Candyman wins, and that is my honest opinion on that. Now, if you've made it to the end of this video, kudos to you. You are the true MVP, and I could not ask for a better viewer. Now, I would love to know who you guys think would win, why they would win, how would this brawl all even happen. I would love to know every single detail. And if you like this video, once again, hit the like button and share it with your friends. I mean, it's Halloween time. I mean, get the buzz going. Let's see what people can come up with. If you're wondering what's happening in the background with the fighting game of them all fighting together, this is a game called Terradrome. I will leave a link to the website in the description down below. It is made by a dude, I believe his name is Acid Glow, and they're actually making a part 2 to this game. So if you're very interested in that, you get this game, you're like, man, I really want to play this more, they're coming out with some stuff. And also this game also has some multiplayer stuff and whatnot, and hashtag not sponsored, but you know how it is. But other than that, I would like to say thank you guys for watching. If you would like to see more, there will be more coming, including a part 2 really to this video of maybe some individual battles and who I think would win without all the semantics and all the other people kind of interfering and whatnot. And the next big one is going to be another brawl. It's going to have some more recent figures in mind. Hashtag creepypasta. But other than that, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys next time. And remember, stay spooky. Bye.